Welcome on into the Wild Willie Podcast Show. I'm Willie Cologne, and he is
JJ, baby. What's been going on with your big Willie? You don't seem like you're smiling too much, but I understand.
Oh, JJ, what is there to smile about? I had one horse in the race, and that was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
And they got their ass bounced up out of the playoffs early, so that hurt. And I went on to. I thought I had a battle cry going on IG. I thought all the Steeler Nation was rallying behind me. We thought we was going to shock the world by beating the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. It did not happen, of course, and I had to deal with it. I had to eat crow, as they would say. You're used to it, being a Cowboys fan, so I had to live in the world of just bitterness and saltiness. So my NFL season is officially over. And now I get to be a fan of other teams. I'm pulling for the Commanders. My daughter's godfather, Darnell Stapleton, who was my right guard at the Pittsburgh Steelers, is the offensive line coach, assistant offensive line coach for the Commanders. So I'm pulling for the Commanders to do the damn thing. They beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are moving on to the next round. And they are playing the Detroit Lions. You talk about the Black Folk Bowl. Ain't nothing like the DC and Detroit playing some football, so it's going down, man. How was your weekend, JJ?
Big Willie, it was wonderful for the simple fact that you see we get rid of McCarthy today?
It was announced today officially. Coach Mike McCarthy will no longer be coaching the Dallas Cowboys. He will be moving on to greener pastures, and so I don't know how you feel about it. It seems like you're excited about it. I'll wait for your take.
To be honest with you, we have always had the players, Big Willie. We just don't have a coach. I'll take Mike Tomlin. Then you'll see how them Cowboys really got done it can be. If we just get a coach that Jerry Jones can leave alone and got done and let them come out there and do what they got done and got to do, Big Willie, we'll be like the Chiefs. We'll just be running Super Bowl back to back to back to back to back. I mean, we'll be a dynasty. But the problem is we have no structure because of Jerry. They won't let the coaches come in and do what they got to do. And I feel like if we could just get that one coach in there where Jerry got done to just set himself aside and just be an owner instead of trying to be the coach too, Big Willie, we can do the darn thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen, Jay. Jerry Jones has come out and pretty much said, listen, hey, I brought the team. Yeah. This is my team. I will be the general manager as long as there's air coming through these lungs. So for everybody that wants Jerry Jones to step down, it ain't happening. So, but, listen, what's troubling about the Cowboys is they waited this long to get rid of Mike McCarthy.
Yes.
A couple of weeks ago, they said that it looks like he would have been most likely returning for the upcoming season. Well, that's not happening. A lot of good coaches already have interviewed, and it looks like a lot of teams who are in need, of coaches, know who that guy is and will be signing him to a contract for the new year. Outside of football, man, I followed you on IG. You were playing Daddy Dearest. You had all your grandkids with you. One thing I love about watching you on IG is nothing like you holding two little ones in your arms while they're napping and you trying to be in Zen mode. Because, JJ, you're the most bombastic, hyper person I know. To see calm JJ it throws me off a little bit. So How was it like babysitting, if you will? Man,
let me tell you, Big Willie, I had my mama to pass, and I'm going to be honest with you. That's just like, man, like it's kind of softening the wound a little bit, just having my grandkids with me, man, and just, having that bundle of joy, it just takes your mind off a lot of stuff, man, and just really let you appreciate what life about, man, just having them in there and seeing the little smiles, the little cries, and holding them and having the baby gripping your finger like that. You know when the baby just grip your little finger like that and just squeeze it. Big Willie, that's just like a feel like no other.
Well, it's interesting because I think most people who are around babies and see the excitement, the pleasantry, or the pageantry of having them run around the house and with their toys, they always somehow look at their significant other and be like, hey, we can possibly do this again. So I don't know. And as horny as you are, JJ, I hope you and So Gucci aren't getting baby fever.
Big Willie, I'm gonna be honest with you, goddamn it. Some years back, I was thinking like that, but right now, Big Willie, I be loving to see my goddamn grandkid boy, and I promise you, we had a time of our life. But Big Willie, when they leave, I be so goddamn dry. I be like, damn, they don't took a lot out of me. Big Willie, I don't remember used to feeling like this, goddamn it. I be right there with them, but Big Willie, I really be wore out.
Yeah, shit. I have two little ones, 4 and 3 years old, and they wear my ass out
Woo!
on a consistent basis. So you have the luxury of throwing their asses out the door and sending them back home with their mama. I got the luxury of dealing with them 24 hours a day. So I don't. There's no days off.
Woo! I applaud you, God, boy. I understand.
Right. Let's move along. So my weekend was great. Other than the Steelers losing, it was fine. I didn't do much. I think like every man in this country who loves their respected team or just loves football probably sat in their man cave, ordered a pizza, some wings, and some drinks, and just kind of just chilled the hell out and watched a lot of football. So
yes, rotel dip.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I think every man in this country, slapped on about 10 pounds of weight just watching, eating food and watching football. So, congratulations to whoever team you
Did you have any company, Big Willie?
Huh?
I know you had some company. I know y'all was over there doing.
I had my cousin come over, him and his lady. They came and watched the game. You know, they're Cowboy fans, so they didn't give a shit.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, their second team is obviously the Steelers, so they were a little bit salty, but they really didn't give a shit. So it was what it was. I just wanted to take a quick time and say our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody dealing with the LA fires, man. It's hard to watch, to see some of the footage, man, and to see some of these people flat out, obviously there are a lot of news, there's a lot of news on the scene, and people are reporting that they pretty much lost everything, homes, and that's heartbreaking. I think what's most heartbreaking is that when you see people who have, their life was in their homes. Right now, my house is, you see my Super Bowl jerseys, you see my game balls. I just cleaned out my mother's apartment, and all the photos from the time she was a little girl to up and now with me having my own kids, that's all kind of stashed away, and it's like, the memories and everything that you kind of harbor in your house, those are all ashes right now. So it's brutal, man. I know some folks out there who are literally trying to figure it out. So everybody out in LA dealing with it, man, thoughts and prayers. If you know anybody out there in LA or out in the West Coast that are dealing with the fires, or if you haven't heard from anybody that that lives out in LA, man, please try your best to go check on them, and hopefully they're okay. But I know a lot of people aren't. We're going to take a quick break. Come on back, the Why Willie Podcast Show. Welcome on back to the Why Willie Podcast Show. What's going on, Jay?
It's all right, Big Willie. What we got going next?
All right, so from time to time, man, I get a message from God, right? And we always talk about being better in the new year. And every morning I wake up and I get a little bit of the word in me. I know you do the same from time to time.
Yes.
Not time to time. We try to be consistent. We won't make it sound like we stop by 7-Eleven. We just get Jesus when we thirsty. That's not what we're talking about here. But in the word, man, it was, so I read this thing called, it's pretty much like a 365-day book about, it's just little passages, about God and his message to you and etc. So, this one started off, it said complex. It says, "Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it." It's Psalm 139. And the word that popped up to me was, I think one of the things we have to focus on in 2025 is being able to be authentic, being your true self. And I was like, man, this is perfect for today's pod because JJ is literally the most authentic person I know. Like there's nobody who I think loves themselves more than JJ. Who is not wavered by anybody's opinion about them. Yes. And you realize how many times people are held back simply because they're afraid of doing or pursuing anything that could benefit themselves because of other people's opinion. You know what I mean? Like it's baffling, man, how when you when you talk to people and you're like, yeah, I want to do this, but I don't know because such and such, or somebody had left them a negative comment, or maybe just threw some doubt in their head. They're like, well, you're right. I shouldn't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to tell you, we're here to tell you, everybody out there, that it's time for you to be your true self. So,
Most definitely.
JJ, I did a little deep dive. I kind of, put some things together. And what I want to talk about is how can we get folks to be more like JJ? How can we get folks to be more authentic and be them true selves? I'll let you go before I get into my thing. You have something to say?
Yeah, start living. Stop worrying about what people got done and saying about you. Stop got done and cutting your blessings off is what I say. You say you had a God moment. My thing is, if you got done thinking about what you want to do in life and you care about how you live and how you feel up in life, you got to start worrying about other people's opinions because people will tear you down. You'll never live. You'll never enjoy life long as you worried about what somebody's saying or thinking about you. How can you get ahead? You cannot goddamn get ahead worrying what people think. This people, I ain't gonna do this because if I do this, somebody might say something. Oh no, I'm not gonna go over there because she might he might got done it all. Look at me strange, or be eyeing me up and down, or
Right.
might not like what I got on, or might not, or might talk about my shoes. Man, you can't worry about what people think and say about you. You get if it makes you feel good. I don't give a darn if you walk out, got done it with some garbage bags wrapped around your goddamn feet. If that's what you want to do, hell, you might start a goddamn trend. Shit, somebody might see it and say, "Well, damn, that's a good little style." If Kanye West can break out with all the goddamn crazy gear that he came out with, and people start goddamn doing it, why you can't goddamn start your own trend out too? It might be just something you worried about somebody saying about you that might goddamn it blow up, and all of a sudden it make you popular where you got some type of endorsement all because you started this trend. You cannot stop your blessing.
And I agree with you. I want to everybody out there, I want to be able to throw questions at you that I think you should answer if you're truly trying to create change within your life. Here's the first question, Jay. This is the
Okay.
one that I came up with, and this is where I feel like everybody should ask themselves: where in my life do I feel most energized and empowered? Um, and what I mean by that, sometimes people don't know how to be happy. One of the best things I've heard and I haven't heard in a long time, it comes from Michelle Obama. I think she was doing a speaking engagement, and what I'm about to say is what she said, and it went viral. And it was in context. It was about being happy in your marriage. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the things she said was like, you are in charge of your own happiness.
Yes.
To gain confidence and true love within yourself, man, you got to learn. You got to learn what makes you happy. Honestly, take the time. I think if you ask a lot of people, if there was a survey to be had, what makes them happy, it would be very. I don't think a lot of people can answer that, right? And in their head is like, well, as long as I can pay my bills and I can travel a little bit, and that'll do it, right? No, what truly makes you happy, and having a clear and precise answer to that is really an indicator if you're truly happy or not. Bottom line, right? Like if you know, like I know for me personally, what makes me happy, spending time with my family. Bottom line, being in the same house with my family and being able to play spades and eat good food and just that time with my family is valuable to me. I love working out. Working out, it
Yes.
gives me great clarity. It allows me to clear my mind. It allows me to get my thoughts and my feelings out. And it gives me a sense of like, okay, I can get over whatever's kind of plaguing me. So little things like that
Mm-hmm.
give me confidence, and I know what empowers me or who empowers me, and
Mm-hmm.
that's my wife. My
There
wife
you go.
empowers me. My family empowers me, and I realize I have good friends like you who
Oh
give me
yeah.
that tap on the back and be like, "Hey, big fella, you moving in the right direction.
Yes.
Keep going." So understand who and what makes you happy. What allow you to be your authentic self. Go ahead if you got something on that.
I'm with you, Big Willie. I'm, family man first. Love spending time with family because quality time with family, you just can't get that back, and that's important up in life for for people to really um be around family, spending time, and showing each other love. That's number one, like you said. Number two, I'm gonna tell you something else you like got done that I love that you didn't even mention. Fishing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I
Yes,
know
sir.
I think a lot of people listen to this. They're like, well,
Yes.
those are just hobbies. But there are people who don't know how to be by themselves. Like it is empowering to do something that you want to do by yourself without asking anybody for help or
Yes.
asking anybody to join you. I think we to find confidence in being alone is important. That's going to help you be your authentic self. Number 2, here we go, Jay. You got to learn to put yourself first. Jay, this is hard for a lot of people, and because it's important to learn to live the life you want to live without permission. And I think people have a hard time with that. I can't tell you how many times when I have casual conversations about where people went to school, and outside of finances, what holds them back is because their parents didn't want to let them go. Right? The parents didn't want them to go that far because they felt like they weren't be able to make it on their own. And I'm a firm believer. If you choose to go to school, meaning college, get the hell out. Get the hell out where people know your name. It's okay in your 20s or your late teens into your 20s to be a stranger in another city. Go build an identity. Go be somebody you want to be and perfect that in any fashion you want. I think the best way to grow is learning how to be uncomfortable. And one way of being uncomfortable is going into a new city where nobody knows your name, with a roommate, or be put in a situation where people don't look like you, talk like you, and walk like you, because it forces you to grow, right? And then you learn something about yourself. And I know, and I'm taking finances out of it. I'm just talking about from a mindset standpoint. You got to be able to move forward and live the life you want to live and have the confidence that you're going to be okay, no matter all the negative thoughts that kind of linger around you.
And I agree with you because what a lot of people don't understand, it's funny you said that about going off to a place and finding your identity and stuff like that because my daughter Sanjay, when she was on the show Bring It with the Dancing Dolls, she was one of the only ones that won a full scholarship to go to got done at the DeSale University up in Center Valley, Pennsylvania. And of course, everybody, you know, the mamas and everybody, I don't want them to go right there. They need to be around. No, got done it. She didn't know nobody. This was her first big step. She's got done it 15, 16 hours from home. Matter of fact, I had to put a car, got done it on a trailer, got done to have it hauled when she go to school and put it on when she come back. That's how far she got done it was. And to be honest with you, it turned out great. So you got to teach them how to fly out that nest, Miss Willie, because if you don't, they're going to always be a handicap up under your wing for you to tow them. And you got to teach them independence. And I felt good about the situation, and I can tell you it turned out wonderful.
Well, I'd say this. I think everybody has to learn to push themselves. Like I can remember being in high school, man, and I think I've said this before. I didn't have aspirations on going to the NFL. I always wanted to play college football because on Saturdays, I grew up watching Penn State and Michigan, and on ABC, they would always show like these stoic all-American football players. And those guys always seemed like Captain America to me. And I was like, man, I want to be one of those guys. And in order for me to be one of those guys, I got to go play college football. And so I remember around 16, man, I really cranked up my training. I would go run. I would go lift on my own. I was going to do things on my own. So when the season came around, I felt like I was putting myself in alignment to be one of those guys on TV, right? And then that's all I was fixated about when it came to college football. Even to this day, I find myself, I'm my best when I tell myself, Willie, you got to take charge, right? Stop depending on Aikisha. Stop depending on XYZ. And that's why I told you about my vision board. Smack on my vision board, there's a big ass sign that says do. You got to do it, right? Push yourself, because when you're able, because I'm a firm believer, if you believe you can do it, you will do it. Nobody wants to suck at anything, but if you never try and you never to give yourself the permission to try, then you're just kind of just stagnant. It's okay for people to question your decisions, but that shouldn't stop you from being your best self. You get what I'm saying? Like if I'm doing something that I think is going to benefit me, that person's allowed to have an opinion. That person's allowed to kind of, talk about their experiences, or kind of maybe feel like, you may be putting yourself in harm's way. But if you never try, like that's the tragedy in itself. And that's what I try to tell a lot of people, like, man, did you at least try? Did you at
Exactly.
least show up? Did you at least have the conversation?
Thank you.
And if all those are no, then shame on you. Shame
Then,
on you, because you'll never be your authentic self or get to know your authentic self if you don't at least attempt to be.
yep, and then you gotta be willing to fail, goddamn it, Big Willie. I mean, how you gonna know how good you are if you don't try? Period. You gotta goddamn at least have the will and have the effort to wanna do. That's one thing you gotta do. You can't just sit back and just think it's just gonna come to you. You gotta have some type of willpower where you just get out there and try. You know, you got to try. You got to put one foot in front of the other. That's the only way you're gonna know if you're gonna be successful or succeed in life or not. But if you never try, how you gonna get there and get ahead? I mean, I ain't never seen goddamn the man just sitting around goddamn and money just fall up in his goddamn lap. I mean, some kind of way he got to go make an effort goddamn it to try to pay a bill here or two or something like that. If you fail, them just lessons learned, Big Willie. I mean, anytime you make a mistake, you got to make mistakes in life to become who you need to be up in life. And those mistakes can make you be the best person in life that you need to be. But so it's okay to fail. It's okay, goddamn, not to make it, because you learn from it and you got to be better in the situation when you try again.
The next one up, it says love. I said love yourself, man. I can't tell you how at the age of 41, I'm learning to love myself outside of my wife and my family, because you don't realize, well, I didn't realize, like I'm saying I didn't realize that I really wasn't loving myself, right? Because I think as a man, you try to harbor everything, you try to push through, you try to find a way, you try to scrap. And since I've stopped drinking and putting poison in my body, pretty much, I've grown to kind of love myself more, and listen to myself and have quiet time. And it takes confidence to love yourself, right? Like I look at you, Jay, and just from optics, and obviously I know you because we've had conversations, so I know you more internally. But I watch the confidence in which you walk with, and I think your kindness and your humor comes from you being able to love yourself.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you how many times I see young dudes or women, you can tell they don't love themselves because when they're always putting themselves down, meaning, self-deprecation is cool, but not all the time, right? Like self-deprecation is I think it's a safe way of trying to tell somebody in front of you, like, hey, like, don't look over here. I don't need that type of attention. Like somebody in the locker room when I was with the Jets, a lot of the young guys will call, and I thank God it's a blessing too. I played long enough where the young guys started calling me Unc. They started calling me Unc in the locker room. And guys would approach me, they'll be like, man, I'm just trying to be like you, Unc. And my rebuttal was like, as you should be. And they would always do like this. And they would be like, oh, okay, I see you, Unc. And they would say it to me time after time, like, man, I'd be like, hey, what's going on, man? What's popping? They'd be like, man, I'm just trying to be like you, Unc. And I'm like, yep, this is a good person to be like.
Exactly.
And you can tell by that subtle reply, they would be like, oh, this Negro cocky. He's
now
confident.
you cocky. Now you cocky.
Because I value myself.
Exactly.
Right? Like, yeah, I came from the mud. I came from the South Bronx, 156th Street. I'm from Melrose Projects. I've seen it and watched it all. And I know where I came from, and I know how much God's grace allowed me to live the life I'm currently living. And while I was playing, to be drafted into the Pittsburgh Steelers, to play as long as I had, to go to multiple playoff appearances, been a part of 2 Super Bowls, and to finish my career in New York and continue my career in New York, you damn right I feel blessed, right?
Right. And then you got to be careful what you say out your mouth too, Big Willie, because you want to be confident, because you can also curse yourself when you get through, when you hear yourself saying, I can't do this. Man, I ain't gonna never be that. Man, he better than me. Man, I can't do. See, you start believing all that stuff. So you got to start saying confident things out your mouth so you can be confident about yourself. Don't curse yourself saying stuff that goddamn can come back to haunt you. You can be like, oh, today ain't gonna be a good day. And guess what? Today ain't gonna be a good day, because you already don't said it when you got up out the bed this morning, right, that today ain't gonna be a good day. But when you get up out the bed in the morning, you say, oh yeah, it's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna have a wonderful week. This is gonna be a successful year. I'm gonna have an even better year than I had last year. Then you start believing in words, and it transparent into something great.
I agree. Last one I wrote down, I think people should honestly pursue if you truly want to be your authentic self. And that is learn to love what's unique about you. Listen, I have a bald spot that I was born with right on the side of my head. Oh, little round circle, right? It is what it is. But it's kind of like my trademark.
There
it is
you
what
go.
it is. When I look at you and I look at that gap between your teeth.
And got done it. And I love it, got done it. And they don't know, boy, that's that masterpiece. Boy, right. Boy, you better, they talk about it, but they love it.
Right. And I remember one time we were hanging out, Jay, and you, I said something about it, and you was like, yep.
Yes, sir.
Get it done. You said, and I said,
yes,
that's
sir.
a wild boy right there.
You got done
that's
right.
A wild boy.
You better make work what you got done it, and I love it, and I make it work.
Learn to love what's unique about you. I think I've learned, and I think that's what's helped my relationship with my wife. I've learned to love what's unique about her. And from the physical standpoint, yeah, my wife is fine and she's fly. But my wife sometimes looks like a chocolate chip cookie. She has all these moles everywhere. I say that because one time I said to her, I said, babe, why don't you get some of them skin tags removed? She was like, why? They're bothering you?
Exactly.
I got them. She's like, I got them checked. They aren't cancerous. And I was like, oh, okay. And I love that reply because she's comfortable with it.
There
right?
You go.
Like it just is what it is. Like she's comfortable with her skin. And I was just like, okay, girl, I get it. Exactly. And so there's little things about yourself that you may think are off-putting or a distraction of whatever, but learn to love that uniqueness about yourself. Don't rob yourself of being one of one. And that's the ultimate goal. And this is why I laid out those questions for everybody that continue to follow us. The goal is to be one of one. Like that's the biggest, I think that's what social media has robbed from humanity. That where everybody's trying to be the BBL, tight stomach, big boob, like everybody's trying to fit that mold. And I'm like, why? Social media has robbed people from loving who they are uniquely, loving their unique self. And I think we have to find a way as a people to get back to that. And all it takes is being able to look in the mirror. I tell you time after time, one of the best things you can do in trying to be the best version of you is while you're brushing your teeth, turn on the lights and brush your teeth and look at the person in the mirror. How many times do you get up from work and because either you're late or you're just in a bad mood because you're up, just turn on the light, brush your teeth and look at the person in the mirror and be like, hey, to your point, Jay, we're going to have a great day today. I'm going to do such and such. Give yourself a high five and be like, let's get this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, let's charge yourself up, man, because self-affirmations, when you're in the process of discovering your new you, is gas. It's your fuel to keep moving in a positive direction. So,
and I got and one thing you brought back a memory what my mama used to always tell, man, and it's funny how things come to you, you know, when you listen to them. But my mama say, God ain't happy. She say with a lot of folks, she say because God don't gave every person everything they need, especially in a woman. He don't gave you breasts, he don't gave you got done it butt, he don't gave you booty, he don't gave you got done nice eyes, nice eyelashes. She say, and people still unhappy with the way they look and they study want to try to add. She say, be confident and happy with who you with. She say, because God made you perfectly already.
Amen. We're going to take a quick break. Come on back. Why Willie Podcast Show. Welcome on into the Wild Willie Podcast. I'm super excited to have somebody who I've known for quite a long time. I when I was putting it together, I was like, man, I've known this brother for a long time. He's a part of the Plastic Cup Boyz. He's been on Ride Along. He's been on Nick Cannon's Wildin' Out. You've seen him anywhere and everywhere. He's been on the comedy stage for a long, long time. Born in Brooklyn, raised in Philadelphia. My man, Spank Horton. What up, Spank?
What's going on, y'all? Oh, man, I'm good, man. How about them Eagles, man?
How about them Eagles?
The American team.
Say
How
that.
about them Eagles? Yeah,
no, Cowboys. Don't say that. We're in the same division. Don't do that. No.
We can use it for the next couple of weeks. We could use that line for the next couple of weeks.
But that's all right. Enjoy it right now, because when we get Dion, Shadua, and Shiloh, we ain't going to have nothing else to talk about.
Right, all three.
All three. Yes,
combo
sir.
package. Get them off Groupon. Yo, Spank, I'm glad you started there, man, because I think the last 3 years, Philly, from a football standpoint, has been up, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when you talk about Jalen Hurts and you talk about now Saquon Barkley, the identity of Philly has always having the stoic kind of super athletic black quarterback going way back, and I may be outdating myself a little bit. And if I'm missing anybody, I apologize. You go with Randall, then Michael Vick, and now Jalen Hurts. As
left
somebody
out McNabb.
McNabb. Oh, how can I?
We had Rodney Pete for a minute. We had
Rodney
Rodney
Pete.
You know
Yes. I apologize. I knew I was going to be forgetting somebody, so I apologize for that.
And Vince Young. We had Vince Young. He ain't never played, but we had Vince Young too. Yeah.
What's the temperature right now? You guys obviously are in a divisional round. How do you feel right now? Do you think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, I do. I really do. A lot of people coming at Jalen Hurts right now because of the passing, but I feel like when we need the passing, he shows up. I feel like we didn't need it last week.
We got you off the road, man, because I know you were coming from Detroit and now you're back home in L.A. The L.A. fires has pretty much plagued the headlines as far as media, man. Can you give us a boots on the ground? And one, is your family okay? And two, is your property okay? How are you handling the fires in LA?
Yes, my family is okay. My ex-wife and daughter is okay. I actually let them stay at my house while I was away because her home had to get evacuated in her area. So I told her, hey, let's go to my house. Don't be searching nothing. Just stay in the little guest room and the living room and kitchen. That's it. Don't go upstairs. I let her and my daughter stay in my house while I was in Detroit. And then I get a call from her saying, hey, it's supposed to come in this area, so I want to go to Long Beach, just get away and this and that. So she left to go to Long Beach. She's still out there on my dime, but it's okay. And get your relaxation on. Enjoy yourself, But she said she's going to head back this way today because the wind's supposed to pick up again tonight and tomorrow morning, and it might push it the opposite way towards my house, towards the valley. So, but I don't think it's coming this way. That's just how I think. I don't think it's coming this way.
First of all, when you said you allowed your wife into your place with your daughter,
ex-wife.
I apologize. It's good to see you guys are in good, good accord. All right, like you're not like, nah, leave the baby and your ass go find shelter. Like I'm glad you wasn't on that bullshit.
No, not at all, man. How we still get along and everything. We good peoples. We good peoples. We actually in a better place right now. But her being at my house for that day before I left definitely reminded me why we divorced, though.
So that must mean you definitely ain't got no steady B woman got done it where you can bring the ex up in there.
Yeah, no steady.
Oh, okay. Because I want to know how would that play out.
Nah. I'm not even looking to get back into the situation that I was in 4 years ago. Yeah, I've been divorced 4 years, and it's going very well right now. Don't got to answer to nobody. Don't really got to talk to nobody when I want to talk. I ain't got to get the trauma dumped on to me, how their day was, none of that.
You sound like you're sleeping a lot better.
Oh, yes, yes. Oh, yes. Ooh, 8 to 10 hours sleep now. Before it was 4 to 6. Now it's 8 to 10. Yes.
Good. You don't have to hide the baby oil either. So that was
there you go.
Man, all right, let's get into it, man. For everybody out there, Spank is once again a part of the Plastic Cup Boyz. Him, Naeem, Joey, Kevin Hart. They've been doing this a long time, man. And I think when we bring you up and obviously everything you got going on, it starts with your Philly roots. Mm-hmm. I know you because obviously I've been around you. We've been close for some time now, man. And the first time I met you, I'm like, did this dude play in the NBA, man? Right. Like this is a tall brother. This is like this average Negro walking around. He got some height. I know you went to Lincoln University with basketball dreams, but overall kind of pivoted and went into the comedy world. How did that happen and why?
I was always known to be the funny guy. I was since elementary school. I was
so you the one got in trouble.
Yes. But this the thing though. I got in trouble from elementary school to middle school, but in high school I pivoted and I realized how I can be funny without getting in trouble. Like I would get the teacher involved with my funny. So that's when it really started to click like, yo, you're a real funny guy where I would say something in class, and at the end of the day, people that wasn't in my class found out what I said in class. I'm like, how did you find out about that? Yeah, they was talking about it in our class. I said, oh, wow, okay, yeah. So that started that, but I was playing basketball for Simon Gratz, he was ranked 3. I was there 4 years. 3 years, we was ranked top in the country. Rasheed Wallace was my freshman year. His senior year, that's what made me start playing basketball. Because he was the number one player in high school, and I would go into the gym like, hey, ESPN is here? What is this? And that's when I started playing from there. So I made JV, then I made varsity, and then how can I say this? I was okay. I'm not gonna say I was good. I'm gonna say I was okay. I was a late bloomer.
Don't listen, man.
Right.
Nobody knows, only you. So you didn't have to cover it like with a blanket to protect yourself.
I did a podcast before, and I was saying how good I was, and yeah, I didn't like the comments, man. I ain't like the comments, so let me just go ahead and just dial it back a little bit. I was okay. I could have got a scholarship to Division I, but I wasn't a really basketball fanatic like that, and I knew I wasn't a fanatic when the championship game, we lost in the public league championship game, and all the good players was crying. I wasn't crying. I was like, hey, man, we just lost. It was okay. Y'all get them next year. I'm going to college next year, but y'all figure it out. That's when I knew the passion wasn't there, you know? So instead of me going D1, I went to a visit for a black college, and I saw all the women up there. I said, I'm coming here.
Oh, that loving.
Yeah, there was a lot of loving up there. Yeah. Shout out to my son. That's where he was born at Lincoln University. And yeah.
That's where he was born?
Yeah, in Frederick Douglass dorm room. Yeah. Shout out.
Dang.
Skeet got there.
I be dang. Yes.
Go ahead, Jay.
So did you ever bang with goddamn it Rasheed Wallace? I think you could have took it on higher if you had actually got him on that court. You know, goddamn it. And they say because you as good as the opponent that you go against.
Right. No, I didn't, because I was a freshman. I didn't play that year at all. I was just going to the games.
Yeah.
So my sophomore year, he graduated and left. But we had a bunch of other D1 players I was banging with, and yeah, they was good. They was good. Went to University of Maryland. Some went to Villanova. Some went to who else? Where else? West Virginia, Cleveland State. Like, we had a lot of D1 players from my school.
Yo, Spank, I think a lot of everybody obviously knows Kevin Hart. He's an A-lister and elite.
Who?
He's elite in the business, man. But I don't think anybody knows the genesis of your relationship. When did you and Kevin really kind of become one? Because every time he's on stage, he has the whole gang behind him.
Right. And he always got jokes about me, which I don't like. I don't like this new joke he got about me. I don't like it at all.
Okay.
I don't like it at all. I don't want to ruin the joke, but I don't like it. So when you hear it, just know I don't like it. Okay. We actually started around basketball. Our neighborhoods in Philadelphia was next to each other. I'm from Nicetown. He's from Area Ave. It's right next to each other. Like I said, I went to Simon Gratz. Simon Gratz is like in the middle, so I knew a lot of Area Ave people. So I would meet up with them to play basketball at Zion Baptist Church, and Kev would be in there playing too. That's how we first met. We linked after my freshman year in college because one of my friends in college and him became roommates because he dropped out of school, and that summer they became roommates. So I would always stay over their apartment, and that's when we really started clicking.
Man, that's all right.
Yeah,
I just want to know. Kevin think he the one of the biggest ballers when it come to basketball. Goddamn, I notice all up on TV when he be playing. He think he the man when it come to basketball. How it turn out? Do y'all ever go against each other and play? And how them games turn out?
No, we never played against each other because clearly he's too small, man. He's 5'1". I'm 6'5".
Now you can't tell Kevin that. Now you can't.
I'm not wasting my time playing him one-on-one. I'm not even wasting my time. I'm not.
Can I give you a quick story? So Kev happened to be in Vegas. I think he was doing a show, and it was me, Ben Roethlisberger, Kev, obviously, Ben's security guards, and it was like 3 or 4 offensive linemen. And my right guard, Darnell, you know D-Stape. D-Stape is actually the assistant O-line coach for the Commanders right now. So shout out to D-Stape. Anyway, Kevin, it was 4-4. And I didn't think Kev had no – I'm from New York. I'm from the Bronx. So, we pride ourselves on basketball just like y'all. So I was on my bullshit. And I was actually going against one of Ben's best friend named Coop. So anyway, we're all playing or whatever. And I watched Kev for 25 minutes absolute bust D-Stape's ass to the point.
So he really can play.
Bro, it shocked me because Kev's like Spank said, he's small.
Yeah.
But he's real shifty, he's quick, and he has a little jump shot to him.
He got a little
and
jump
mind you, we're fresh off the season. So our knees and backs and shit, we in shambles right now. He put D-Stape in an absolute pressure cooker. I watched D-Stape and I said, bro, do you want to switch off? Because he's busting your ass right now. Like, he couldn't hold him. He could not hold Kev. And he looked at me like, nah. He's like, nah, I got him. I watched Kev hit him with an in and out. And I saw my right guard, Darnell Stapleton, almost tear his ACL. Oh. And we was playing at the UNLV Rebels basketball court. We was like in the gym. And Kev was talking shit, busting D-Stape's ass. And I said, listen, man, he's a comedian. He don't really mean that. Like, but you know how you on a team with somebody and they getting their ass bust,
Yeah.
and the conversation, everybody starts off joking too. You stop talking to the person because he's the reason you down 10 at this point. So, so he was just like, y'all. So Stape looked at me, he was like, so y'all ain't gonna call out no picks no more. I was like, I was just like,
it's the picks. It's the picks. That's what's
right. So I gotta give credit. I gotta give Kevin a little credit, man. He can hoop.
I'm not gonna lie, he can.
I want to go into the obviously the comedy world with you, man. I think one of the hardest things when talking to comedians is trying to identify, what's real to them, right? Because so much is experience, storytelling, but very few people talk about the business aspect for it. How hard is it for you guys? Not hard is it, but obviously you guys are doing extremely well, man. But from a business standpoint, how hard is the comedy, like booking shows and because like I said, you just came from Detroit. I think you did 5 shows. How daunting is that to kind of stay in the mix when it comes to comedy?
Well, that's good to do 5 shows in Detroit. I'm gonna say that. That's good.
Sure. Right. No, I'm not knocking that.
Right. But coming up, I think now we're in a sweet spot because we opened up for Kevin Hart, who's one of the biggest comedians in the world. Like we travel the world for the past, I would say, I think 2009 or 2010 is when he really started elevating and getting into from theaters to arenas. So you say that was for about 15 years. We've been blessed to be able to travel the world. I'm talking in countries where English was their second language. I'm on stage like, they're not going to understand not one thing I say. But let's go for it. And you get, if you don't get laughs, you get claps. I said, you know what? I like that. At least I get claps. I'll take the claps. And then, but you just realize in them type countries, you just got to slow it down. That's all. You just got to slow it down and then understand everything you're saying. But the comedy world, I'm not going to lie to you, man. It's hard, man. It's rough. It's rough. I remember coming up in the game, man. I performed in bowling alleys. Wherever somebody said they got a check for you, you show up.
Really?
60-year anniversaries for people. Like, this 60-year-old woman don't want to hear what I got to say. Why do y'all book me for this birthday party? Come on, man. I performed on the Amtrak train. They did a train party going to Atlanta for All-Star Weekend.
Whoa.
It was in Atlanta or D.C. I think it was D.C. So it was only like a 2-hour drive, but they wanted me to do 15 minutes. They booked a rapper to do 15 minutes. And then they had the DJ doing music and all that. It was like a 2-hour ride from Philly to D.C. And yeah, I performed in one of the little cabins, whatever they call it. They rented out like the last 3, and there was like a party train for us. Yeah.
So the train's moving and you performing.
Wow. Yeah. Hey man. So when the chicken crossed the road, I said, yeah. Bowling alleys. You think you're getting a round of applause, but somebody just bowled a strike. It's like, oh, okay, all right, that one for me. All right, cool.
God damn.
It's tough. No. It's tough being a comedian. They put you anywhere. They look at you like you're a little clown. Yeah. Go be funny over there. They're going $100. All right, cool. Thank you. I'll take the $100.
Wow.
Right.
That's the beginning stages, though. But as you evolve, you start to go to different comedy clubs. Then you start learning the business of, okay, so what I need to do is get into the comedy clubs, the improvs, the funny bones, because they got them all over the country.
Wow. Now, on your first time, I know you transitioned from basketball to doing comedy. You felt like that was your call and everything. But if I'm not mistaken, didn't they dare you to get on stage and do a comedy and you got on there and did it for the first time? I'm just interested in to find out, how did that turn out? What happened?
So we was on South Street. That's where the legendary club, the Laugh House, is at. Okay. That's where Kevin Hart started at. Michael Blackson, Touré Gordon, a lot of vet comedians started there. So we all on South Street. There's also a strip where there's a lot of stores and a lot of guys go to be a lot of girls down there. You just walk up and down the street meeting girls. So we passed the Laugh House. My friend said, man, I dare you to go up on stage. I was like, what? I said, I dare you. Mind you, I've been to the Laugh House a lot because I used to support Kev. Yeah. Because he started when I used to visit him in the summertime at the apartment with my other friend. That's when he started. So I used to go down to the Laugh House with him. So I knew all about the Laugh House. So I said, all right, let's go ahead and see what's up. So I walked in. I said, hey, man, I want to sign up for amateur night. They said, come back on Wednesday and get here early and sign up. I said, okay. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday. So the following Wednesday, we all came back. I signed up, and then I got on stage. I did 5 minutes. I got off stage. I thought I killed. I'm like, yo, people laughing and all. I invited like 10, 15 people. They probably was just them laughing. Yeah, it's probably, and all my people was like, yeah, that was probably all your friends laughing or whatever. I'm like, no, but I did good. So as I walked out, Michael Blackson was in there. This is the first time I was on stage. He came up to me and said, hey, man, you're not funny yet, but you got it. So I'm like, I'm not funny yet, but like.
Okay, let me start. What does that mean?
Yeah. At first, I thought he was hating.
Right. That's what it sounded like.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
But as I started to grow in the comedy game, I realized, oh no, he told me that I got it. Like, so, because sometimes you could just bomb from the first night on stage, or you can bomb your 50th time on stage. So he let me know from the beginning, like, yo, man, you got it. Don't give up. He said I had stage presence, I had the charisma, I had all that. I just didn't have the jokes yet. So over time, that's when you develop the jokes. So he let me know from the beginning, just because you did good tonight, that don't mean you're not going to do good next week. You're going to do good next week. So if next week I come and I don't do good, always having the back of my mind, I got it. I just got to figure out these jokes right. So I got it over the years.
You mentioned Michael Blackston. Was there anybody you idolized that say, hey, man, you know, like I want to be like him one day, or this is a guy who I can see myself being like in the business?
It was like a process. It was first, of course, it was Eddie Murphy. I met Eddie Murphy 2 times too, by the way. Shouts out to Eddie Murphy. First it was Eddie Murphy. Then from Eddie, it went to Martin.
Can I stop you real quick? How was the experience? I want to cut you off.
Yeah.
It was quick. It was short and sweet. It wasn't like we had a whole conversation either time. But he's smooth with it. I give it to him. He's smooth with it. Now that I've been in the game for a while, I see what he was doing. He basically saw him. I said, hey, what's going on, man? He said, hey, man, great job in the film. I said, oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Then he did some type of move. Next thing I know, it was one of his friends talking to him. I said, well, wait, where'd he go? Hold on. What happened? Oh, that boy good. Give me my compliment. Got up out of there. Then it went to Martin. And then from Martin, it went to Cedric the Entertainer, because he was hosting Comic View. When he was hosting Comic View, I saw him, and then after that, it was the Kings of Comedy, Bernie Mac.
Oh wow,
Bernie Mac. I seen Bernie Mac in the Kings of Comedy in the year 2000. In 2001, I got dared to do comedy, and that's
so it was a calling. Like it was a calling
because I was in the theater. Remember leaving the theater laughing like, wow. That was good. And people in the theater that recognized, that knew me, like, hey, Spank, when you gonna get up there? Like, I used to always get when I'm gonna be a stand-up. So it was gonna happen. It eventually was gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Back then, you know, it's still a lot of good comedy today, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Bernie Mac was tanning up during his era. And for you to see him back in that era during that time, as hot as he was, and you wanting to be a comedy, how was that experience right there for you?
It was scary because I was like, man, can I make them laugh the way he making?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, cause.
But it built my confidence, though. It built my confidence because I remember watching the first person I seen live that had me in stitches to make me think I can't do this was JB Smooth.
Really?
Man, JB Smooth in the early 2000s, couldn't nobody follow this guy. And I've seen him on stage with all the greats from Tracy Morgan and everybody. No, this guy was shutting the comedy clubs down. I was like, I don't know if I can do this.
Wow.
He the only one that had me question if I could do it because I was real young in the game.
You know what's crazy? I know a lot. I'm fortunate to know a lot of comics, and then one of the people they mentioned in that light is Patrice O'Neal. They say you can never follow Patrice O'Neal. Like Patrice O'Neal was like, if you followed him, the only thing next for you to say was, all right, thanks for coming out. God bless, good night. Because he shut down everything. Like you just didn't. He was just that dynamic.
Was hilarious. Oh, and I forgot Damon Wayans. It was Eddie Murphy, then Damon Wayans, then Martin.
I always wonder about comedians. Even, just comedians. When y'all have stuff and you have everything down packed, you can say it, you can do it, but all of a sudden you get on stage and you know you got something coming after another thing that you just said and your mind go blank. Does it ever go, do you ever get that way and then you have to come up with something else because you can't remember what you said, so now your mind blank and now I got to try to plug in this because I don't forget it. How do you bounce back from that? What do you do when it comes to that?
That only happened a few times. One time, I think I was supposed to do like 20 minutes, and I think I finished with like 14 because I forgot the middle part of the joke. I was like, good night, y'all.
Oh, no. I was wondering, do that ever happen like that?
No, that definitely happened with me. It definitely happened with me sometimes. Sometimes I remember starting a joke, forget the punchline, go to another joke, and then next I'm doing my ending joke. It's like, oh, man. Then while I'm doing my ending joke, I remember the jokes that I forgot. So then I start all over, start doing them jokes again, and then close out with that joke. Wow. But they say you're supposed to know your set from beginning to end and then from end to beginning. So just in case that happens, though. Yeah.
I wanna pivot real quick, man, because as you started the interview, we was talking about your ex-wife, and I want to be very clear on that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Being a comedian, man, and I know you're a strip club connoisseur.
We mean you.
We. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah, come on now.
Oh, I'm
was
married now. I'm happily married.
Oh, okay,
right?
you're right. You're right. This was years ago. Yeah, the old Willie.
The old Willie. I was elbows with you. We was chugging Patron, slapping on things. I got you. I was with you.
Jay, can I say this, Jay?
Yeah.
This is the first person I've seen drink a half a bottle of Patron straight from the bottle.
You ain't got to. I know. He came down here from Mississippi with that chuck-a-lug stuff, got done. And I'm like, chuck-a-lug? What the hell you talking about chuck-a-lug? I found out quick.
Yeah. Half a bottle. I'm like, yo, this guy's nuts.
Ooh, yes.
How hard you mentioned it, man. I guess the stock is high when it comes to the ladies right now. Considering that you're on the road, you tour a lot. One thing I love about you, Spank, every time I give a like on a IG Vixen, I look under like who else liked the picture, and your name is consistently right there. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter who she is or what he is.
Right.
Spank Horton liked the picture.
Oh yeah, I'm there.
It was funny because my brother said the same thing about me. He goes, bro, there's not a joint on the IG right now where I don't see your name.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I just like to support. I just like
we
to
in the
support.
same boat.
Oh, JJ, by far, JJ is the horniest person I know. The stuff that he sends me, I'm just like, dog. He hit me with a DM like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh yeah.
That I'm like, yo, there's no way you're up right now. I mean, it was just straight filth. It was just filth, and I'm like, yo, what are you doing up looking at this right now? I know you got to be working 20 minutes. He don't even reply back. He hits me with a heart. Anytime a man hits you with a heart, I'm like, he didn't give me an emoji smiley face. It's just a heart. That means your hands are tied up. Lay off yourself. You know what I mean? You know how easy it is? You know how easy it is to just give a heart? That means there's no thought process.
No
that
thought
means
at all.
just heart to fucking come.
That's
So my question as we move along. How hard is it being a comedian who's famous, who has a lot going on for themselves, to generally find a woman who cares about Spank and not the celebrity?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is with me, I'm not looking for that right now.
Okay.
Like I've been on dates and girls say I date with, what is that word I'm looking for? I date with interest, not with interest. I date with for a future. They're looking for a man and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I'm not looking for a woman.
Mm-hmm. And you let that be known.
Yeah, I let that be known from the first date or as soon as we meet. So in the conversation, I'm not looking for nobody right now. You know, I'm seeing therapy right now. I'm trying to heal. You know, I'm trying to heal. So therefore, once I'm healed, then I'm ready. But right now, I'm not ready. So I'm not even looking for nothing. So whatever they looking for, and I'm looking for the opposite. If it can coincide, we can get together.
Yes.
Women have this competitive gene where like, I'm going to save him.
Oh yeah,
been out. He's a good brother. We pray together. We do all these things. He calls me at the end of the night. Right. And I remember one time before I got married, this girl, I did like her. I liked her, but I just wasn't. I could tell she was looking for a husband. I'm like, listen, I'm offering 3 things. And that's the triple D. She's like, what is the triple D? Drinks, dinner, and donuts in the morning. Right? I got nothing else. Don't bring your ass over here talking about what we look like. And that's what I got. That's what I'm serving.
I think I'm gonna take that 3D, but I'm gonna change the donuts to another D.
I believe that's what he was trying to say. Spank.
Yeah. I was keeping the dick out of there. You know? So trying to preserve. The dick was it was the unapplied message. Yes, that's what I was trying. I'm glad you killed the elephant in the room there, Spank.
It was drinks, dinner. I'm right with you. Right. Donuts. Hold on now. Let's talk about this.
Dinner and donuts, there's a lot that goes in between. That's what I was trying to leave to the imagination.
Okay, I got you.
But I love it, man. I want to say this too, Spank, man. When it comes to women and dealing with comedians, man, there's also the other side, man. You guys, what I've learned, go through a little bit of depression, right? Especially when you're on the road by yourself. You're fortunate enough because you're with the boys, so you can kind of bounce off your emotions and your frustration. Right. But I think women don't understand the psychological side, because like you said, you're on for a performance based. You're in a performance based business. Yeah. You know how you perform it sometimes dictates your mood and what comes along with that. How does a woman in that space with you? How does she able to handle that for a comedian that's up and coming?
Up and coming, but me, man, I'm just different, man. I don't really have I didn't have a hard life, man. I remember I
come from a 2-parent home. Everything's good in my
No, I came from a single family home, though. A single home. Came from a single home. I said single family home, like buying a house. I came from a single home. But I don't know, man. My mom said I was blessed. The way I think is just is crazy. Like my ex-wife used to always say, you need to go see therapy because you got something locked in for you to be happy all the time. It's just not normal. I said, yeah, I know it's not normal, but I'm gonna just keep letting it ride till the wheels fall off. Once the wheel fall off, then we can see I'm not normal no more. But even the therapist tell me, he said, yo, man, you don't live in reality. Like when he said that to me, I was like, what do you mean? I got
the therapist said that?
Yeah, the therapist said that. He said, you don't live in reality. So then after a while, I stopped going to him, of course. But after a while, I started thinking.
I feel like you judging me, motherfucker.
Yeah. I started thinking. I said, yo, he's right. I really don't live in reality. I don't know. My mom said I was how most babies cry a lot. She said I was just a happy baby all the time. She said she never understood how, of course I cried, but she said I definitely was a happy baby way more than what I cried. So it was something that was just blessed with me. I don't know what it is. But like I've been robbed out here. Next day, still went and did what I had to do. I've lost people in my family. Don't get me wrong. I shed tears, cry for them. But next day, it's like, yo, I live by, hey man, God put it in your life for a reason.
Yes.
And live with it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not sitting back stressing over nothing. I don't stress over, even with the divorce. I mean, my ex-wife called my mom all the time. Why he's not saying anything? What's going on with him? I was moving along. Hey, you want to leave? Leave. Like she left. I didn't file for divorce. She filed. Yeah. So when she filed, I was like, all right. So she called my mom. I can't believe he signed the papers. She was like, he told you
he was leaving.
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you talking about? Yeah, I'm not. I'm mad at you. Ain't fighting for me. I'm not fighting for nobody that don't want to stay. That's just me. I'm sorry. If you want to leave, you said it too many times. You said you want to leave too many times. So go ahead and leave.
Yes.
So I live that happy life, man. I live that happy life. Yeah, I'm not gonna front. Like I don't. Even when in a relationship, this is what I have to learn. This is why I'm going to therapy, because I need to learn how to be for my significant other when they're having a bad day. Like I don't even believe in bad days. Now I do believe in tomorrow may be better than today, but I just don't believe in bad days. So when my ex-wife used to come home and have a bad day, I don't be knowing what to say to her. I'm like, what? You let that bother you? That's nothing. But they don't want to hear that. They want you to talk to them and rub their back. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
I got to learn how to do that. I got to learn how to do that.
Exactly.
I don't want y'all reminiscing. I'm sorry.
Willie,
I don't want y'all
like
getting flashbacks.
No, I go through it every day. Like my wife's biggest knock on me is that I'm insensitive. Like, and I think I'm 50 part Spank, because when you've seen enough and been around enough people, and you understand that at the end of the day, nobody really gives a fuck. Like that's the truth of the matter. And I've been through enough to realize, like, people may call you, text you, and support you, but they get along, right? So you can either stay there and soak and dwell and go through all the bullshit and emotions, or you say, well, that sucked, and move the fuck along, right? So it seems like you do it on an extreme level, but I do have a little bit.
Mine is on the extreme. I ain't gonna lie, mine's on the extreme. She come in crying, anything. What you crying for? Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not gonna lie, it was bad.
Spank, real talk. I'm at the point right now where, like, if something's going on with my wife, like I have to sometimes fake, like, because at the end of the day, I'm like,
real.
You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm like, oh, you okay, babe? In the back of my head, like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give. That's inside my head. I don't give a flying fuck, right? Like, because I still got to get up. I got to do what I got to do for all this shit. So I can't do. So I have to sometimes, just to show a little bit of compassion, so she doesn't think I'm some psychopath. I have to kind of put on a little bit. And then she's like, well, thanks for thinking about my feelings. I'm like, you're totally right. In the back of my head, I'm like, I don't give a motherfucker. So it's just different, man. Go ahead, JJ.
That's how you could know. I'm sorry, Jay. You got to ask something?
Oh, no, you good, man. I'm just tripping out. I'm going to stay out of trouble on this one. Come on.
That's things like when you go to dinner and the waitress come over and you can hear your lady just saying, oh, she got an attitude. It's like, what attitude did you see? She's good.
Oh,
no,
man.
She got an attitude. You just don't know. It's a woman thing. You're right. It's a woman thing. I'm glad it is, because Jesus Christ, she do not have an attitude, man. They just detect everything.
No, I would to pivot, man, and talk a little ball with you. You're on the underground lounge with the NBA star Lou Will, who I'm a fan of. Love Lou Will. Lemon Pepper Lou, as the streets would say.
Lemon Pepper Lou.
How did that come along, man?
I've known Lou since, he was drafted by the Sixers. A friend of ours named Chuck Ellis, he was heavy into basketball. He's a basketball trainer. Shout out to Chuck Ellis. He introduced me to Lou when he was like 17, 18, when he first got drafted. Just on some, hey, what's going on? This is blah, blah, blah. That was it. So over the years, I will always see Lou out in the clubs. We'll always speak, show love, this and that. I think our friendship really grew in the past like 5 years, 6 years. This is when he was playing with the Clippers, and I was living out in LA, and we'll always see each other, and we'd just start linking up, having parties. Then during COVID, we started doing like little private parties. You know what I'm saying, not no baby old private parties, but just regular get together, hangout parties or whatever, because everything was shut down because it was COVID.
Sure.
And then it was the app Clubhouse. This when the Clubhouse blew up. It was an app where it was just all audio. You get in like a group. It's like a podcast in a way.
Yeah, I remember Clubhouse.
Yeah. So we signed on, and man,
popular during COVID.
Yeah, very popular. So me and him used to do rooms together and host them, and everybody always said, "Yo, y'all should do a podcast. Y'all should do a podcast." And then 4 years later, we just started talking about it. He retired. He said, "Hey man, let's try to get activated. I'm about to get hired for this FanDuel job out there in LA. Let's do something." I said, "Hey man, Kev got a studio out here. We got cameras. Let's figure it out." And then we just figured it out. That's how it started. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lou, didn't he play high school up in Georgia? He came straight out of high school to go pro,
straight
right?
out of high school, yeah.
Now I got something for you to mess with him about. You want to get him
what
back?
you got for me?
You tell him
let me get him back, yeah.
He got down to Jackson, Mississippi, and they had to play one of the best got down to high schools it was, called the Lanier High School Bulldog, where he had to go against Monte Ellis.
Yeah,
and let me tell you something. When they came to the Coliseum, it went like, I want to say probably about 2 or 3 overtime. Man, Monte Ellis hit a goddamn 3-pointer during their half court that swirled around the rim, Big Willie, I declare, damn near 6 or 7 times, just like this. Just like somebody was just twisting it and went in and got done it, man. And the crowd went, man, I ain't never seen so much energy. And happy to say, but sad to say, to Lou Williams, got done them little near Bulldog, pulled it out and showed got done Lou Williams, who was the best goddamn team. And I know he hate that right now to this day. Yes, sir. Ask him about that.
We actually talked about it. He said he never really seen. He said he knew he was big in his hometown. Yeah. And when he came to Jackson, he said, "Man, this dude had merch and everything in high school." He said, "Wow, this guy is something." But him and them, they grew a relationship, and they had a lot of scouts at that game.
Yes.
And a lot of scouts at the game. But at the second quarter, I forgot what scout who it was. It was an NBA scout. Oh, Jerry West. He said it was Jerry West. Jerry West said in the paper. They said, "Hey, we see you went to the game." He said, "Yeah, man, I left after the first quarter." They said, "Why you leave so early?" He said, "Man, both them guys is pros. Ain't no need for me to watch the whole game. I saw in the first quarter that Monte Ellis and Lou Williams are pros." I said, "Wow."
You just came off tour, right? What was the name of the tour?
No, we're still on tour right now.
Right.
With
you just
Kevin
came
Hart.
from Miami, right? In Detroit.
Came from Detroit. Acting My Age tour. It's the Acting My Age tour.
There you go.
Yeah, we go to Charlotte this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where y'all acting your age?
I'm not, but they are. I'm still in the club. Kev, like, you not tired of going to the club? Nope. I meet a new 25, 26-year-old every week.
So I just feel like you should come out with your own strip club chronicles, because I feel like you've been to damn near everyone and anyone across the country.
I have. I just don't remember the names of them. That's my problem.
I don't even need the names. I think just experience, right?
Just experience. You're right.
I tell everybody what kind of broke me into the strip club world, because on my 21st birthday, we went to the Players. It was called Aces Diamonds of Players Club, something like that, in the Bronx. And my cousins was like, "Hey man, you're a man now, so now you got to drink. You got to get with a woman." So I'm like, "All right, I feel like." So I was like, "Let's do it." And I met this girl. Her name was Phoenix, right? And I was like, I was in love with Phoenix. And she was like, "You want to go to the back room?" My cousin was like, "Yeah, hell yeah." So he gave me a bottle of vodka, and I went to the back room with Phoenix. And my soft, sorry Catholic school upraising ass spent the next 30 minutes just talking to the girl.
Just talking to her.
She was in community college. She wanted to be a nurse. She had 2 kids.
You know, all
great
that
conversation.
You ain't supposed to be in there talking about all that, Big Willie.
My first time in a strip club, right? So anyway.
30 minutes? Woo, still got to pay that tab.
Bro. Of course, she's milking me. I had no idea, right? Fast forward, she gives me a little rub down. She's like, "No, I really like you. You know, you're not like the other guys." And I'm drinking that shit, right? No bullshit, bro. She's like, "What are you doing after this?" So I'm like, "Oh, I'm going back with my cousins, right?" She's all right. You want to go get breakfast or something? I'm like, shit, yeah. So in my head, I'm gonna meet, smash, happy birthday, Willie.
Right.
I wait for this girl. Mind you, it was a little small strip club. I go to the door. There's a big ass bouncer. He's standing there. He was like, "Hey," he's like, what do you want?" I was like, "Oh, I'm here waiting for Phoenix. When she gets off, we're gonna go get breakfast." So he goes, "Right." So I'm like, so I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. You don't know Phoenix. I just talked to her for 30 minutes. She knows my heart, right?
She got 2 kids. So, what are you talking about?
My cousin comes over. My cousin Kiani goes, "Hey, yo, you ready to go?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm waiting for this girl, man. She gonna come back with us." He's like, Right. So he sits in the car. He goes in the car. He goes, I'll wait for you outside. So I'm standing there. 10 minutes go by. 15 minutes go by. And then a light goes off. And as I'm picking up my head, I look right at the security guard. He goes. And I'm like, okay.
You were disappointed, was you, Big Willie?
Bro, I to this day, I remember walking out of that club. It was cold as shit. I'm sober now. My cousins is waiting for me. They're laughing, right? So I go sit in the front in the passenger seat. They was like, yo, what happened with Phoenix? I'm like, drive. That was my first strip club appearance.
Wow.
Phoenix took, and by the way, all the money I spent was my birthday money. And I gave it all to Phoenix.
You couldn't even afford breakfast. You gonna ask her to pay for it?
Don't worry, Will. She went to breakfast. It just went with you.
She definitely went to breakfast. My first experience was worse. Oh, God. Sheesh.
Worse? You got to give it to her before we let you go.
Yes. It's quick, too. It's quick. So
Okay.
I was 16. It wasn't a strip club. Basically, what it was in the neighborhood, it was a bar, and they had like 2 or 3 girls come in the second floor and, let them dance and do what they got to do. I was 16. I was tall, so, I'm from the neighborhood. You know what?
Yep.
Go ahead, Spank. We'll let you up there. Go ahead on up there. Went on up. Sitting there, I'm excited to see some naked women. I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready. I'm excited. All my older guys with me. Tell me, Spank, you gonna love it. All right, cool. Girl came out on the stage, started dancing. I said, that's a grown woman right there. I love that. Yeah. She went to go open her legs, grabbed the Heineken bottle. I said, okay, she gonna drink while she dance. She put the Heineken bottle in her vagina. I was like, okay, hold on now. What's going on? Oh,
Yes, sir.
no, I don't like this. No, this is nasty. I got to go. No, she put a bottle in her vagina. I'm leaving. I left. I ain't go to a strip club again until I was probably about 2021 because I was scarred from seeing a Heineken bottle go in this girl's vagina. I'm like, come on, man.
If you crack your leg, if you crack your legs open, and if I get a whiff of Heineken, man, I'm calling the cops. I'm calling the cops because that's assault on me.
Right.
Now you're assaulting me. Hey, Spank, I can't thank you enough, brother. I know you got a lot going on, man. Please be safe out in LA. I know, of course, like you said, the fires are still running rapid, man. So to blessings to you and your family. I hope you guys stay safe. And before I let you go, tell people where they can find you and everything you got going on before I let you go.
You can find me on all my social medias is Spank Horton, at Spank Horton, SpankHorton. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but I'm not on TikTok. They just made me a page, and I just post some videos on there. That's too young for me. What else? I'm on Facebook, of course. Got to keep up with my aunts in New York and in Tampa. I got to keep up with them. Why you hit me back? I hit you on Facebook. Text me. You got my phone number. Why did you worry about what I say on Facebook, man? Come on. Also, we got the Underground Lounge, man. You can check that out. We drop every Wednesday on YouTube. With me and Lou Williams. What else I got? I think that's about it. We're on tour right now, the Acting My Age tour. I got some movies that I'm writing right now. And one is starting about, it look like it's about to be in development. I don't want to spook myself, but it look like it's about to be in development.
I could be Debo, I could be the killer, I could be anybody. JJ JJ can do a lot. So JJ he could be the chef in the back, yelling at people, hitting the bell. He could be that guy.
Y'all got acting credits? Credits? What, 4 or 5 seasons? Come on now. Come on now.
Spank, once again.
Yo,
thanks,
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me too, y'all.
Always.
I appreciate y'all, man.
We're going to do it again.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Welcome on back to the Wild Willie Podcast Show. JJ and I here. One thing we try to do is reply to all the listeners and their comments, right? So if you listen, we thank you. And if you have a comment, we try to give you a reply back. So here we go. This is from Andrea Evans, 2718 on YouTube. I was so impressed about the statement Willie made about mental health and being confused about his own mental health with grief, loss, and the impact. I really think this should be a topic, especially around how, as a Black woman in a relationship, what do we need from us? Do we bother you when we keep asking you, are you okay? JJ.
I don't think you bothering us. I think you just, concerned, and you really want to know what you could do, to be helpful in the situation. And us as men, we like that right there. We like when you're concerned. We like when we know that you care about our feelings. So I think it's a wonderful thing, that you're asking us, questions like that.
Well, I'll say this, Jay. I think it's very important to check up on your partner and kind of, just be engaging. Are you okay? What can I do? How can we do it? X, Y, Z. But I also realize one thing, and this is with my own relationships with different family members and even my wife. Sometimes you got to let people go through what they're going through.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you continue to pound the drum and beat them and beat them and beat them like, hey, you're really going to eat that? That's your third serving of that today. You sure you want to eat that? Like that becomes like, oh my God, like just that becomes a lot. Let's go to the comments. It goes, this is from Sweet Tea Honey 5811 on YouTube, and a few other listeners pointed this out as well. Another great podcast, guys. Willie, I do want you to know that they did show Akeisha's PJ line, and we did see her going from room to room, giving them out to the ladies. I support you both and have purchased after seeing the PJ line on the show. So thank you. All right. So they did do it. I wasn't aware of that. Thank you for everybody that continues to support my wife. Her menopause pajama line is called Bam Blue. For all the women out there dealing with hot flashes at night and they just want to be cool, calm, so they can sleep through the night, please give my wife's pajamas a try. All right, this one is from Nicky Nick 27. Question for the next episode. JJ said he and Soguchi have been together since 2005, but did not marry her until 2013. That is a correction. JJ and Soguchi got married in 2018. They go on to say, respectfully, why did it take so long for you guys to get married, JJ? Answer that.
Well, because for one, when you have been through a marriage already and it didn't go as planned, you don't rush into nothing. You want to make sure that you got done and going into it, got done at the right situation at the right time. And nobody can put a time limit on when you're supposed to get married, how long it take. You get married when you feel like it's right and the timing is right. And some it take longer than others. And like Big Willie said, some people go into it for the wrong reasons. Some people go to it for finance reasons. Some people got done to just want to go into, for different reasons. But my reason is I wanted to make sure when I did, I was ready. And we have both proved to each other that the timing was right and it was time to go ahead and make that commitment. And we did it at the time that we thought was best for each other.
Amen. All right, we're going to get out of here. Thank you once again to all our listeners, all our new fans, everybody that continues to support the pod, continue to support me and JJ. Also, check out me and my wife's podcast called F It. We dropped episode 1. It was a fun one. We got another one coming up. That's more about me, her, family life, marriage life, yada, 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 all the good stuff. So check that out as well. I'm Willie Clone, and here's
JJ, baby, and get ready for them goddamn playoff. We're going to see if Willie Redskins got done it can do it, got done it with the Detroit Lions. It's going to be a sight to see. And we will be right back next week to talk about this situation, Big Willie. Stay tuned.
Oh, boy. All right, we're going to get out of here. Peace.